Hey, slot car fans, this is Rob DeLeon with the DeLeon Slot Car Raceway, and this is the third time I will have recorded this video.
Born to run, baby. Born to run. Welcome to the DeLeon.
And I'll explain in a moment exactly why. So let me go ahead and grab this little car here. So this is going to be another episode of What's on the Bench. Now, this has been on the bench here. This is my Le Mans miniature, and I'm having some issues with it. This has actually never seen a track. In fact, I don't think I can drive it because it doesn't even move. It rubs on the body. This is a resin body. It's a very heavy car. I don't even consider putting it on the track because it's not really, I mean, it's a slot car, but it's not really a slot car. This car here, if you can look really closely, let me see if I can show you. With all the heat that has been going in my garage, all the windows have popped up off the body. So you have that one there, you have this one here, and the glue has just not held very well. The back one here, the glue has popped up, and you can see the rubber. I don't think it's made, I think it's actually a photo etch, but the rubber has popped up as well as the window. So I have to carefully glue this thing back together because this is probably one of my pricier cars, and I wanted it because it matches the poster on my wall. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on to the show here. So because I had to videotape this video here 3 times, it's going to be a little different than what I originally planned, and I'll explain that in a moment. But you see, I had a little friend last night and the night before, and it was a very loud cricket chirping. I'll give you an example of what I had to deal with. And today we have another episode of What's on the Bench. And I'm going to try to make this one a little... And at first I thought, I can probably try to edit some of that sound out. No, I couldn't. It was just way too noisy. So here we are, again in the morning, recording this again for the 3rd time. And we're going to start off with this beautiful Porsche, and this is the Porsche 910, and this is a car by MRRC. Now, I think all of these cars are new old stock. I don't think these are being manufactured anymore. I might be mistaken on that. But so this is a car I had seen at Electric Dreams for a while, and I know my friend Joe, he bought one of these as well, but I believe his is the white closed top version, and this one here is the open top, as you can see. And it has a lot of nice detail interior there. You can see that there's little gauge clusters inside of that. And I really love the profile of this car. It's totally 1960s. You can just see it's got that back window, the way it's cut there. So I'm not really expecting that this car is going to do anything fantastic on the track, although I might be surprised. You can see here that this car has a similar chassis which you might find to the monogram chassis. It's the and I think I even have an SRC that's like this too. So this is one of these adjustable chassis. You can actually have it spread out in case you have a car with a different a wheelbase. So as you can see here, it has an inline motor. I don't have any motor specs on it. It's got a magnet. The gearing seems like it's pretty nice. The mesh seems pretty good. But as you can see, as I roll it, you can see those tires and wheels wobbling. So that's going to be an issue, and I'll probably have to work on that. Same thing with the front. The front kind of gets stuck. You know, these aren't the most, I would say, precision chassis, like something you would get maybe from Revo Slot, where it's got bearings and everything rolls really nicely. But as far as the car goes, I love that body style. And this is going to look great in my collection. You know, the funny thing is, you think you're done with collecting all the Porsches. You've got your 550, you've got the 356, you've got the 917, you've got your 904, 908, this is the 910, you've got your Carrera, and it just seems like you never quite get all the different versions because there are so many. I mean, I don't know how many versions of the different Porsches out throughout the years that they've made, but you know, I love all of them actually. If I really am being honest with myself, I just like the name and I like the styling of these cars. So anyway, so that's the Porsche 910 by MRRC. And again, I don't put these cars on the track. I don't do any testing with them as I'm doing these videos. This is just to introduce you to some of these more, I guess, not rare, but more of these cars that are difficult to find. Maybe they're kind of the oddballs that sit in a case for a long time. They don't get sold. And they're not really considered like what you would want to call a competition race car. So I don't think these really move very fast, you know, as far as off the shelf. But it's a beautiful car nonetheless, and I'm gonna really enjoy putting this on the track and working with it. So the next one we have to show you is this one here, and I didn't know this one existed at all. I actually did a lot of work to it last night that I had a chance. This is the Porsche 959, and it has a I guess you would call this a not a fake livery, but this is a fantasy livery. I don't believe this car ever came with this livery. There's only one other Porsche 959 that I've seen in person, and that's the one from Le Mans Miniature. That's a beautiful car. And usually I've always remembered this car had the Rothmans livery, and it was kind of white and blue. So this Porsche here is by the collaboration between MCS and actually, I'm sorry, MSC and Scale Auto. And I didn't know this when I bought it, but this is an all-wheel drive car, and you can see the rubber band here that connects the front and rear axle. So when I had this car out of the box the first time, I noticed that it sat really high, and what had happened is, I guess at the factory they had glued in all of those little brass spacers that I guess give the chassis strength, and as well as the exhaust tips came in a bag, they weren't installed. So I had a chance to do that last night, and while I was doing that, I went ahead and lowered the car a little bit too, so it looks a little better. There's a lot of gap between the bottom of the fender and the top of the tire, and I think that looks much better. It's a really nice looking car too. This is the first 959 I have. I wish more manufacturers would make the 959 because it was a very important car, especially in rally racing. And to leave it out and to have maybe just a couple of examples that I know of, it's kind of a shame. But this one here, it does feature aluminum wheels. This is their, I guess, their competition series. So I do expect good things from it. I don't have any specs on the motor, and it looks like it's got one magnet, but the crown gear is plastic, but you do have a brass pinion. So this might run pretty good. I guess I won't know until I get it on the track, and I'll be doing that at some other point here. And so the third car I'm going to show you here, and this was kind of going to go a little different way. What this is this was a kit. This was a kit I got, and I was going to just show you the kit and how it comes. You get little baggies full of the parts, and you have to build it. Now, the body's already pre-painted. Well, since after redoing this video, I actually had a chance to build the car. And so there it is. That is the this is the Fly Ferrari 250 LM. And I do have a couple of the Ferrari GTOs, and those are beautiful cars in their own right. But this one here, it was kind of interesting that it almost has the same kind of rear window and rear hips as the Porsche of the similar era. And so this car here had a little bit of, as you can see here, it had some of the photo etch. Maybe I shouldn't have put that on because that's the first thing that's going to get knocked off. as well as the exhaust. But it does look nice, and I had to glue all the grills and especially like the little intakes here. Had to glue all those together, and the tailpipes and all of this photo etched back here. And it's not too bad, you know. It's pretty interesting to be able to put your own car together. And of course, this isn't anything like the scratch building stuff, which I've done. But this car here, if you buy this car ready to go in the box, they're kind of expensive. And so this one was kind of a discounted car, maybe because it's a kit. But when you finish it, it basically is the same thing as the others that you get that are already done for you. But that's a beautiful looking car. So, and again, this one's a Fly. And so those are the 3 cars I have to show you today. And so this is again another episode of What's on the Bench. Again, we have the Porsche 910, the Ferrari 250 LM, and the Porsche 959. So hopefully that takes care of that, and I can move on to the next video. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching, and we will talk to you later. Bye for now. Thanks for watching, and if you like this kind of content, please give us a like and subscribe.